Why this world is a dream. Welcome to Thompson TV. This video goes on with the Astral plane is a real place video. I want to explain why dreams are real. And my assistant, Scarlett, is going to help us out. Right? Okay. Dreams are real because thoughts are things. Anybody seen The Secret, the laws of attraction? You know that every time you think something, it becomes a reality. If not in this reality, in some other reality. Quantum physics has proven that there's more than one reality. There's different ways to exist on this planet. Okay, if that's all clear, then you still come to the idea of how are dreams real? Aren't they just images that we create inside of our mind? Things, it just our images being manipulated by our mind as we go to sleep. We can say that. Before I get to it, let's have an example. Scarlett right here, right? Is she dreaming? Or is she in reality? To her? Is there a difference? As she sees you now, and as she talks now, this is reality. And when she goes to sleep, that is reality. There is no difference. So, is reality only the things that we prefer to be reality? Is driving in cars, going to work, paying bills, is that reality? Or is that the reality that you prefer? When it comes down to it, as we dream, first off, dreams are in place so we can learn. It's all the things that happened in our day-to-day and all the things that could happen in our future are being played out in the mind. That's the theory. Alright, now these are all thoughts compounded to make images. Is this right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Now if these are all thoughts and thoughts are things, so that means that these images are things, they're not just fanciful. That means that this is a reality. It's not this earthly reality that we're used to, cars and businesses, but it's still a reality. Now when it comes down to the important part, I'm going to say that we can't conceive. We don't receive information. We don't conceive information. We just perceive information. That's why it's called perception. We do not create thoughts. We do not create images. Anything that is thought of or created was already there. So a dream is not something that you've created on your own. Some people say that there's a higher self, or they're just relating to God as conceiving God conceiving the thought, the image, the higher self receiving the thought, the image, and then you are perceiving the thought, the image. So at its source, it's true. It's the source. It's the first. By the time it's filtered, boom, 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 all the way down to the third dimension, there's a lack of information. But at the essence, it's all true. Now, I'm not trying to get complicated, but that's just the facts, right? So when you're in this dream world, now I talked with a couple of people here on YouTube and on Reddit. They're very opinionative on lucid dreams and things like that, and saying that they're all creations of the mind. Alright, first, they're creations of the mind, not the brain. The brain is right here. I can touch the brain if I want to. Put my finger inside my skull, I can feel it. The mind, tell me where it is. Where's the mind at? And if you find the mind, or if you can describe the mind, the words don't matter. That's where these dreams are taking place. Now that's an actual place because I'm alive. I'm conscious. And the mind in some way helps that work. We don't know how that works, so please don't try to put words to it because we don't know. So anything you say is false. A yogi can probably explain that the best. But outside of that, no scientist has even came close. They can't. You can't measure that. You have to experience that. You have to know the inner workings of the consciousness, yourself, the whole being, before you can actually dissect anything on this planet or in existence, or you'll be losing or missing the layer of spirit, meta. And without that, you don't have a full description. That's why we have to cut everything open to try to figure out what it is. And then we're only looking at the matter. So, dreams, they are an actual place. The things, these dreams are on the same mental plane. This mental plane where the brain, the mind exists is the same place where these dreams exist. Well, somewhere around, as we call the astral realm, wherever this may be, whatever dimension that may fall under, give it whatever number to feel good. That's where these dreams are taking place. This is a real place. Just because we give it a name outside of our reality, that doesn't mean that it's not a real reality. This could be a fake reality, if you ever think about that. Now, the astral plane is where these dreams take place. You can always go back to a dream that you had when you was a kid, and it's still there, exactly intact, how you left it. It's not a place that you created, it's a place that you went into and manipulated. Because the human brain, the human consciousness anyway, since we have the false idea of free will, we are willing to manipulate energy, and everything is energy. So when we are in these dream states, our vibration is heightened. So everything can be manipulated, because even our walls here, our body, they're not solid. If you put them under a microscope, it's pure energy. So in essence, we can manipulate that too, but our consciousness doesn't allow us to do so. But in this dream state, this astral plane, we're in a high enough vibration that everything can change with a thought, because the thought is powerful. It's the energy signature or energy frequency that staples your consciousness or your state of being. So however high your state of being at that moment that you are being, that's the giving, I guess, quote unquote, power that you have to manipulate, change, and perceive what you're looking at. So that's why dreams are manipulated easily. That doesn't mean that they're not real. If you say that the astral is real, astral projection, out-of-body experiences are real, I also have to say that dreams are real. They're all one and the same. They're just higher parts of consciousness. I experienced all of these myself. I'm not reading out of a book, even though I did read books, of course. But I first-hand experienced these things myself. And I know that it takes a certain level of consciousness to achieve each one. Even Albert Einstein himself said that without the element of spirit, things can't be measured. I can't quote him. I don't remember the quote, but there were studies done that when you do an experiment and nobody's looking, the experiment comes out one way. If you do an experiment and somebody's looking, just the look, just your stare, the energy that's coming from your body, your being manipulates the experiment, a physical experiment. Now, if there's multiple people looking, because they have their own ideas, their own thoughts, their own energy that they're projecting onto what they see, it changes. Same thing, a dream. There's studies all across the board of 3 practitioners. One that does nothing, one that just thinks about, let's say, shooting basketball hoops and making 3-pointers, and there's one group that just shoots 3-pointers all day. First group that does nothing, they get worse. Second group that just thinks about it, they get better. Third group, of course, they also get better. So the second group that only thinks about it in their mind, how did they get better? Studies found out that even though it's just a thought, the brain takes it as a reality, the physical body takes it as a reality, and the muscles, the muscle fibers, they twitch, boom, 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 like you're exercising. Because the brain doesn't see the difference from fiction and reality. You know why? Because there isn't any difference. That's how I'm gonna end this. If you really want to know more about that, you should read up on it. There's a lot of people who like to speak and say things that they have no knowledge of just because they read it somewhere, or they got one opinion. Sometimes if you hear a lot of lies over and over, you may think that it's real. This is Thompson TV. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Share this information because it's always a good one. Dropping knowledge bombs. Thank you for watching again.